Hey everyone, Chris Goglin here doing an episode number 14 of my Star Wars CCG GEMP game review series. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of games here. The first one was submitted by GTrechak, is a newer player to the GEMP community in the Star Wars forums. He's going to be using a Tatooine Careful Planning deck. Starting with the Episode 1 Tatooine, solid system, one of the best systems in the game. Careful planning for the slave quarters. Use that to pull Shmi, use Shmi to get 3PO. Kind of run a mains platform, typically off of that, at least for an activation setup, usually. Then we're going with I Must Be Allowed to Speak, which will get him a farm, so that gets him 2 more activation, and Tatooine Battleground. Also gives him some use pile searches with Luke and Leia. Like my father before me, play Jedi Lukes all day, Walkling for the extra activation. And he's playing against Airmet, a veteran European player who's running Darkside Senate, but using the First Order starting interrupt and effects, Battle of the First Order, and Alert My Star Destroyer. So he starts the Senate, gets the 2-0, the Maul site, and then uses the where's that? You Know What I've Come For. Where's that card? Let's pause it. I'll go find it real fast. You Know What I've Come For. Where'd it go? There it is. So this is the recently errated card, so we'll touch on that for a second, which is kind of one of the reasons I also wanted to do this game. So the current version of the card, have been used primarily in map decks, but we've seen it branched out to a few other platforms, with Watto and with Senate mostly. Occasionally I've seen people also do it with Endor operations. But this lets you start with a Jakku landing site, then you get Battle of the First Order and any one effect, and then this goes in your hand, and then you use this to deploy a shuttle for -2 from hand or reserve deck and reshuffle. Now this card was just errated. The errata will go into effect when set 9 is released, possibly in the next week-ish. 10 days, I don't know. I know Nationals is about a month away down in Atlanta here at the end of July. And I know they want to get all the text out to everybody at least 4 weeks or so in advance, so everybody had time to make adjustments and get some playtest games in with the new set 9 cards and with the couple of erratas that they did to the First Order cards. And the big one here is You Know What I've Come For has been changed. Let's pull up the official text here just so I make sure I read this right. The lost function is gone. It's now a used function, which is better in some aspects. Others it's not. Use 1 force to upload a First Order shuttle. So instead of deploying it from hand or reserve deck at -2, you now have to pay 1 to upload it out of your deck into your hand. So you'll activate 1, you'll play it, and go pull the shuttle. Hopefully the 1 force you activated wasn't your only copy of the shuttle. You get around that just by playing 2 shuttles, then you guarantee you don't miss it. I mean, the odds, obviously, it's 1 in 42, 44, maybe 45, depending on what deck you run. But you're probably 1 in, like you will say, 1 in 40 is a pretty conservative number. So that should happen less than 2, right around 2% of the time, 2.5% of the time. It would be the 1 card you activate. So that's not too likely to happen. But the deploy -2 is also gone, so now it costs 3 force basically more than it used to get the shuttle out, which may mean that first turn you can't go shuttle and then pull Kylo and be all set up with this like power 5/6 plus a destiny plus a power destiny right off the bat. So I think it's a good change. I think it'll certainly slow this whole deck type down a little bit. And then that may, maybe we won't see people using this starting platform for as many things. Airmet goes ahead, he squabbles, Gets lot Dodd, draws a couple cards up to 12. Looks like he got the sight in his hand along with the 2-0, so he's got good activation next turn. He's already up to 11. He hasn't even played the hover cam yet. GTrechak's gonna, I'm probably slaughtering his last name, but he's gonna get Shmi. He got the farm. Shmi pulls 3PO. You drop 3PO. Use 3PO. Puts the lightsaber back. Makes sense. Not deploying Luke this turn, so go ahead and put it on the bottom where you can then get to it nice and easy next turn. Pulls a second Han Chewie Falcon, so he's playing 2 of those. Okay, that's probably not going to see much more space package than a couple Han Chewie Falcons and this Bravo fighter here. Sometimes you'll see him do launch in the assault, which they can pull with Wackling to get home 1. But it looks like he's just using, he's got 2 Luke Sabers, a couple impressive, most impressive. Noble Sacrifice, interesting. Alright, so we got the green leader and green one, who can cancel immunity attrition of any starship, which helps get through like a highly immune executor. I don't think he'll ever do the adding 1 battle. Oh, he's got gold leader and gold 1 in his hand, so he could potentially add a battle destiny as well. That could come in handy. Hujik's combo could punch it. Alright, so he looks like he's going to be adding some destinies in space. Life debt. 2 life debts. He really destiny edited this thing up. And then we see a card most people probably haven't seen in a very long time. Gunite. Deploy an opponent's side table. All opponents' characters' ability greater than 2 are deploy +2. Opponent may not play surprise and may not use my opponent's game text. There is a shield that straight up cancels this card, so unless he's going to play some stuff that would force him to play some shields. I mean, obviously his opponent already pulled a grabber. Maybe he plays a retrieval shield or a, some type of coward to prevent force drains at non-battlegrounds. Potentially we could see, battle plan. But unless he gets him to burn that 4th shield, that Gunite is not really going to do too much. Excuse me. Airmet gets Lot Dodd out. A couple other senators. We got Edsel and Yeb. So we'll see the Senate shield come out so he doesn't have to get cards pulled out of his hand. Yeb. Senate majority once during opponent's turn, or once during your turn rather. Peek at top card of opponent's reserve deck. So once per turn, you just look at the top card of their reserve deck. You can either put it back, leaving a nice low destiny on top if you want to battle them or something, or if it's a card you don't really like there, you can lose a force and make them lose that card. If you happen to find like a key interrupt or something like that early, you can just make it lost. It is kind of, it can kind of be a blowout card, if you're playing like Rebel Strike Team or something and you happen to have your epic event sit on top of your deck and there it goes. That could be pretty disastrous. And Edsel, opponent may not draw more than 1 battle destiny at battleground sites, and you may not cancel that destiny draw. So it limits them to 1 at sites. We haven't seen any destiny adders on the ground. I mean, Lando is, adds a destiny himself, but it looks like his life debts and stuff all revolve around Han Chewie Falcon in space. Same thing with Punch It. Potentially somebody like Hera, though, or Lando could be used on the ground to add battle destinies. We're going to get Luke now. He gets a used pile search. He's got multiple clashes. Probably take the sense here. Excuse me. That's a good way to make somebody burn a shield, too. Make them, they got to get a battle plan to stop your potential drain. Then you've got the possibility of having to deal with a sense. I'll make him burn a shield on that too. Drops Leia for backup, grabs the ship. We'll see Shmi shuffle over as well. Oh, looks like he clicked too fast, went past it. Yeah, we're going to move Shmi over. No need to leave her sitting there where she can get, spy beat down or presence of the force beat down. He'll leave 3PO behind though, keep 3PO safe. I know Shmi has some tech when she's with 3PO. While in a battle out of sight, subtracts 1 from each opponent's destiny draw, so that's just a -1 for her. Oh, it's on 3PO's text. 3PO gets the weird little... In a battle with Shmi at a site, once per battle, you place top card of your used pile on top of your reserve deck. So you use 3PO's text, put a card used to draw a card off your reserve deck, and then use the other part of his text to put that card on top of your reserve deck, so then you draw it for battle or weapon destiny. Comes in handy with multiple Jedi Lukes floating around in a deck. Alright. He's going to drop Mika to the 1-0, use that, deploy the system, alert, finalizer with Hux. That's a nice cheap 8 force, powerful Star Destroyer. I think it's the bridge out. Easy to set up too, especially with Lot Dodd. Definitely some great synergy with First Order Bow making use pile pulls and Lot Dodd using force pile pulls. You really get to manipulate your deck and gain access to a lot of cards this way. Certainly a strong way to play Senate. He pulls the "Don't Do That Again" shield. Not sure what immediate effect he has. He might end up going hunting for maybe a legendary starfighter or something. Or maybe he was just more worried about Lost in the Wilderness, which also makes sense. The other thing about the errata that I was talking about earlier is, what I've come for? Making it a used interrupt means it doesn't go in your lost pile, which means map can't stack it right away to get that extra 1 power for Kylo and that extra looping ability. It's just going to go back in their deck instead, so that's a slight little change of pace. Now that we've seen the finalizer come out, he's going to go ahead and he's going to put a couple of his ships down at Tatooine to get around battle order. So he's got Bravo Fighter and he's got Gold Leader and Gold 1 together. With this Tatooine system, probably going to limit, prevent them from drawing more than 1 destiny there. Darkside's going to pay to drain. There goes the Leia off the top. There goes the Corrin off the top. He's going to get simple tricks to prevent any retrieval or keep him from paying to drain in the Senate. The top card of the deck was Hujik's combo, so he's going to go ahead and make that loss too. And now he's going to go looking for the Chimera. And that's the other thing too, when you're trying to match up for certain things. If you look in your force pile and you see your entire force pile with Lot Dodd, hey, alright, which piece of this is in there? Or, hey, I can take the Chimera and then I can immediately go match for it because I know Thrawn's not in there. So they're going to go down to Tatooine. It's only going to be 1 battle destiny there, though, because of the Tatooine systems text, which Darkseid has to have a droid ship from Episode 1 or the independent starship there, so they can draw more than 1 battle destiny. So they're not going to get that, but they do still have good power. You've got 11 power with Thrawn Chimera. It's immune to less than 8 because it's 6 from the ship with Thrawn, and then adds 2 more with the Admiral's Order. Alright. Moves over the finalizer, so we've certainly got some solid power there. And look looking at what we've got in hand to work with from the light side, I mean, you're anticipating an Imperial command. That's what you'd expect to see in this situation. Um, you've got Thrawn there. You're expecting to see a command. Do you bait it out? I mean, you're going to drop Han, Chewie, Falcon anyway. I mean, you've got two of them. So you drop Han, Chewie, Falcon. You see if maybe, I mean, who would expect life debt? You see if he plays the command to limit you to one because you're already getting two. I mean, I don't think you could risk. Actually, you have enough force. You could drop both ships. Then you're getting 3 destiny as is. If you pass the first action and he doesn't play the command, and you get 3 destiny, you could risk a life debt to draw 5, but I would probably pass first, see if you can debate the command out and then grab it, and then you can always play Han, Chewie, Falcon a second time with a life debt. So we'll see what ends up happening here, but he's got enough force. He doesn't have to pay to drain this turn, so that's good. He's going to drop. Which send on the green leader, which is good. Then we drop the Han, Chewie, Falcon. He's got 5 left, which could be, 1 to battle, pay 3 for upkeep. There's the 4th shield pull. He's going to pull a there is no try. That's the other thing, too. You have the sense, so you can sense the command. Grab it and then sense it. He cancels the finalizer's immunity to attrition and makes that ship hit. I mean, you're going to have to lose something anyway, but I don't know that that necessarily was worth doing. It's immune to less than 7, but you're drawing how many destiny? 3? I think you're probably going to crack 7. At least I hope so. Otherwise, what's the point? Especially if you're going to draw a sense, if you're going to sense the command too, and you're going to life debt and get 5 destiny. Getting that ship hit doesn't necessarily isn't necessarily necessary. See, there's the command, so we'll grab it. He's just going to sense it first. He should have grabbed it first. That's a mistake there. He gets lucky. He draws the 5. Could have drawn a Luke and missed. But definitely should have grabbed that. Unless he's verified and only saw his opponents running 1 imp command, you would expect the possibility of seeing 2 to 3 commands in this type of space deck. At least 2, right? Since you really want to make sure you get your destiny adders through in space, I probably would have strongly urged grabbing it there. So he will life debt. He's going to get the 5 destiny. So he's drawn 5 battle destiny now. So making the ship immune to less than 7 not be immune anymore. He's already drawn 8 with his first 2 battle destiny. So, something he could have done without. But again, he's going to have to forfeit something anyway. But at least he'd have the option of choosing which ship he wanted to lose. And those are some impressive destinies. He's already at 20 and climbing. $22 for a total. That is going to clear up. That's probably going to clear the finalizer. I drew a 4, which luckily this thing is forfeits 4. If he had drawn a 5 there, that would have been terrible because then he'd have to lose 2 ships. So that's why I didn't like the move. of that. So we got 22 attrition. So Thrawn's going to cover 7. Dofeld is 3 more. Takes it down to 12. Phasma and... Okay, because Phasma's only 4, right? Yeah, so she's 4. So Phasma, Thrawn, and the Chimera were 21. So that cost him another pilot. And then he's going to burn Walkling and get the ship back. Kind of seems a little like overkill at this point. I don't know necessarily that you need Green Leader, but so as the Senate player, you've already taken, you're getting drained pretty solidly on the ground. You don't have much of a ground force of your own going. And you've just lost a pretty big space battle. It's chewed through a big chunk of your fleet. Looks like he's going to fall back here. He's going to get his 5th Senator out. He's going to squabble to retrieve because Aim High is not out. Simple Tricks is. So he doesn't have to pay. He occupies his 2nd battleground now with the 2 systems. So he'll get pretty much everything he just lost back. Chimera, Phasma, Mika, Thrawn, and the command. Then we'll probably see the finalizer move away, move back to Jakku. And then he'll just take a turn or 2, reload his hand, and figure out his next move. It's probably going to have to be going to the ground soon. I mean, you know, he's got a drain of 2 here at this system, which is great. He's getting out drained 2 to 1 and not having to pay for it. Probably don't want to have to deal with this. I mean, Gold Leader forcing you to draw. You're limited to 1 here by this system. And Han Chewy's adding 2. Adding a Battle Destiny. Possibly 2 more if there's multiple life debts. He's got a neighboring. This is another inexperienced player move here. He force drains for 2. Then he plays neighbor and moves all his guys over to the Jakku site. And then, you know, he's just going to draw. If he was going to neighbor in those guys over, he should have neighbored before he drained, because he could have drained for 3 here instead of 2. I mean, there's a slim chance that there's a Tarkin's orders involved and the drain would just get canceled. But at the same time, it seems like a fairly reasonable play. You know, these types of decks don't typically run Tarkin's orders, so I'd take my chances. Darkseid is going to pay to drain at the Senate. I'm sorry, at Jakku. They get 2 more cards. So he gets a Wisa and a Hera. Kind of in a position there. He's gonna make him lose a. Sorry about the mess off the top. Now we're gonna see Darkseid go ground, basically go into the site he wasn't at with Vader Emperor, and now they've both upped their damage potential. He gave up this site. So basically, he moved from a drain of 2 to a drain of 3, but now instead of his opponent having a drain of 1, his opponent has a drain of 2, because Vader cancels. You know, the subtract 1 text is unless Vader's there. So Darkseid will do 2 and 2. Lightside will do 1 and 3 in terms of force loss. So this just accelerates the game a little bit. but I would expect to see Obi and Lando go try and clear out that site. Now, Lando is not going to be as effective because of Edsel, the senator. He's going to limit him to one battle destiny. There's also a pretty good chance that Lando could just get choked by Vader. Um, so he wouldn't get that second draw anyway. But we do get a use pile search. It could also clash. He's got a clash. We'll see. Yep, he's going to use that. Clash Vader right out of the battle. Good possibility here of putting a beating down on the Emperor. We may see a Force Lightning then get pulled. Now the Emperor's down 11. And if he gets hit, this could be pretty bad, but we're probably going to end up, he's got pretty good destiny here. He's been 3POing some cards around. I've been using use pile searches and getting some of the lower destiny cards out of his deck. It just misses, though, with the 7. It's lucky for Darkseid. No Force Lightning, so either not playing it or just doesn't have it. They only get 1, but I mean, yeah, this will probably be a 5 or something too. But he can add to attrition. Someone, Toonbuck, I believe, is the senator. Well, in the Senate majority, you can add to total attrition for each character with an ambition agenda. Usually there's 3 guys there with ambition. So he's going to increase that up to 8. Eight attrition means 2 characters. Now, the downside to doing what he just did and having to spend all that force is he doesn't have enough force to keep Han Chewie Falcon on the table. So they're going to go out of play, which means that that life debt is no good. That second Han Chewie Falcon that he's got floating around is no good. And now his space fleet is a little bit weaker, and you never know. You might see these guys slide back over to potentially block that drain. They don't need to right now. It's still a pretty close game. Yeah, you can lose the life debt. Definitely doesn't need that anymore. We're at 18-16. They're both doing, a couple of drains. There's not a third battleground really though for Darkseid to get to resistance to cap this drain of 2. Emperor Shuttle with the Emperor aboard. That would draw 2 destiny. I'm sorry, no, it would not. It doesn't draw 2 because you don't have an independent ship there. So you're still only getting the 1 battle destiny there. But we could see him slide. He's just going to battle. Bravo Fighter can take out the shuttle because there's no pilot character aboard. Let's pause this for a second so we can read that text. During battle, target a starship with no character piloting. Draw destiny. If destiny greater than defense value, target is hit. So this shuttle, which is completely immune to attrition because the Emperor's aboard it, is only maneuver 3. So fairly easy to hit. Airmet may have forgot that the Bravo Fighter does that. So he just got his shuttle just got capped. Yeah, I said it. So that whole thing's going down in a blaze of glory. I mean, yeah, it'll weaken up the light side space fleet a little bit. He draws the 1 though. Not going to matter here because the Emperor's going to cover, and the shuttle will cover 14. So unless he drew a 10, it wasn't going to really make much of a difference. So yeah, even if the shuttle hadn't have got shot, he was at least he's going to lose the Emperor for 9, and then probably at least a couple of cards, but he'll lose the shuttle as well. Gold leader and gold 1 goes away. Bravo fighters left standing alone. What are they trying to fix? I hate when the revert pops up. What are you trying to fix? He forces him to pay 1 to draw. Yeah, we know that. He may have passed through his battle phase by accident or something. And so now there's no revert stop, like post Battle Destiny forfeit sequence. So you kind of have to go back and run it over again if you make an error. He uses Toonbuck. Oh, that's what he forgot to do. He forgot to use Toonbuck to add to the attrition. To clear both ships. I don't think it matters. No. It doesn't matter. Oh, he lost the wrong ship. Okay, so that's really all he wanted to do. He didn't want to lose Bravo Fighter. He wanted to lose Gold Leader and Gold 1. Or the other way around. He lost Gold Leader and Gold 1 last time. This time he wants to lose the other one, which again makes sense knowing that he's holding this green leader in his hand. He can get a second Battle Destiny out of it. And Gold Leader can hold a passenger. So you could just slap Qui-Gon aboard it as a passenger. And then you've got some forfeit fodder. So when they draw their destiny, you just have to pooch Qui-Gon. Can't battle Vader because of Clash until the end of this turn. Binder stayed behind. He's going to play Gunite now. I think that's a little too late. It's really just more of a... I mean, he's down to 10 force. I mean, obviously there's possible characters he could still play, but I don't know if there's really too many left in there. So we'll cancel Finalizer's immunity. And he's going to draw 2 Destiny against it. He's guaranteed to make sure Hux dies, but he's got to... He needs greater than 5. He gets 9. So that's going to take the whole thing down 2. So that's again... You know, the downside to leaving Binder behind. Because he could have just lost Binder and Hux and been done with there. So... But Darkseid will add to the attrition again with Toonbuck. He'll clear both the light side ships. So now space is completely cleared at Tatooine. Binder does survive. Either way, you'd have 1 ship left, whether it's Binder or Finalizer. At least Finalizer would drain more, but Binder can move over to Tatooine. And it does draw by itself. That's only ability 2. I was going to say, they don't have any other ability 4 ships right now. Alright. I get to drain a 1 at Jakku. Yep, punch, it's useless. Throw that card away now. And a free drain in the Senate as well. Yeah, nothing of Virgins, no big drains left. Leia did move over to at least threaten a second drain spot. Phasma and Mika. I guess he's going after... I guess he's going to use Vader to clear Obi and then move those 2 out. I guess is his plan. Vader gets hit, forfeits 0. He's already burned at least one sorry about the mess off the top of the deck. So with Yeb Yeb, so I'm sure he's not. I mean, never. We've seen a lot of multiple, 2 copies of some big interrupts. So a second sorry about the mess wouldn't be unheard of. But I guess with only 12 cards or so down, Aramet feels confident that he can get away with that. Having the clash would have been helpful there, just to clash Vader out of the battle. But Obi's going to die. That's going to put light side down to just 1 battleground. But there's no shield pulls left. Coward's not out. So Leia could still pay to drain there. I'll move Phasma over and Mika over. That's 4 abilities, so at least those guys get the draw. And Phasma's a trooper, so again, no -1 from the large moisture farm. And Binder moves over as well. So Darkside's threatening total drains of 5 now and not having to pay for it. Light side would have to pay for all of their drains and would be able to drain for 4. There goes a Maul from hand. There goes a Chimera off the top. There goes a lot off the top. He skips the drain, puts Qui-Gon down. I expected to see Qui-Gon. I thought maybe he would pay to drain and then just drop Qui-Gon. But I guess he's going to opt to draw a couple instead. He does draw Jin, so at least he has another character. Potentially with options with Jin, depending on how this battle goes and whether or not there's a battle here and both guys get cleared, and if there's anybody else coming down for Darkseid, you could see Jin just go there to block the drain, or you could see Jin probably go to the security tower to drain for 2. But it looks like Aramet's going to go ahead and concede. I mean, he's down pretty low on life force. He's got 7-9 left to 16. I guess he doesn't have anything left to deal with Qui-Gon. So he could, or at least that he can afford to get out because of Gunite. Vader would cost 8, Kylo would cost 7, Maul would cost 9. So it looks like he did manage to get that extra shield out just the way he wanted. We never saw a shield puller played by Darkseid. So kudos there to pulling out the win to GTrechak. And certainly an interesting matchup, interesting build. We saw some good plays on both sides, and then some questionable things that we pointed out, and hopefully both players can learn from before moving on to their next match. We got one more game we're going to look at here. Get that one out of the way. And we'll pull up this second game. This is one submitted to us from Kimura a little while ago. Kimura is going to be playing Prophet. He's playing against Eskimo 56. Eskimo's running court. He's going to opt to start Jabba and Chow. So he's going to get Scum out and have some cheap aliens, and they're both going to be immune to attrition from the light side's alien leaders here are immune to attrition. We'll get Power of the Hutt, Jabba's Haven, Battle Order First Strike. So Power of the Hutt tells us this is a bit different than what we've seen from some of the current court deck builds. This is going to have some more of the old school kind of style to it. I think we'll probably see Bib and Boilo in there. Possibly even Hutt influence to keep drains from being canceled. Prophet looks like it's going to be a pretty traditional mains type deck. We're going to do the Must Be Allowed to Speak farm pull, the Saitor Kalthas, so that they can match for weapons. And we're going to leadership. That's probably going to be a General Leia, but we're going to get a quick peek. All right, so yeah, so this is the mains here, typical mains version of Prophet. You've got a home one as a lone token spaceship just to keep Darkseid honest. As someone who's played Prophet over the years, a number of different ways, I firmly believe you need at least one ship in there um, just to keep your opponent honest. They're going to expect you to not really have much space, if any at all, and against a variety of decks, they're just going to throw like if anything start combat response, it's just going to throw you know matching pilot and guidance. Like, oh, it's black 2 with DS612, and it's like we're just going to go drain at whatever system for all game because we know you're not running any space. We're not really scared of what the possibility of you running any space. So you got to have at least something to keep them honest. Court, we're going to see now how to get pulled, and at least Zuckus, if not, possibly Fett in space, or Dengar, Ellis, and Hinthra, definitely, I would expect to see. So, Darkseid will have a couple of ships in space, in instant access to them from their objectives, so they're going to be there early. And, if they're just going to kind of just leave Zuckus just hanging out there by himself, he's only power 4. Home 1 Akbar is power 12 and 2 Destiny, and kind of kicks Zuckus right in the face. But other than that, Chopper, nice set 8 card we don't see too often in decks. Power and defense value +2, so that certainly helps keep Home 1 from getting shot by something like the Super Laser or a Turbo Laser battery. Also makes immune to lateral damage, which is pretty cool. And I guess on the ground it's got a permanent weapon, Electroshock Prod. Target character with ability less than 4. Target may not use its game text this turn. That could certainly come in handy. Character's ability less than 4 with good game text. There's quite a few of those in a variety of decks. You could shock Chow Beacon here so he can't make guys deploy cheaper. Mostly to be used, I would think, for low-cost EPP guys in this matchup. Guys like Dengar, Ig, maybe Dr. E combo to keep him from, operating on people. Could be used on Boba Fett, against a variety of other decks. You could get, Grand Moff Tarkin, so we can't draw a Battle Destiny, or Boilo, so we can't cancel a Destiny. Phasma, so she can't add a Destiny. The other First Order Trooper guys, so they can't do their weird little game texts. So there's a number of characters there that could really be impacted by that. P-59 or something like that, or Dengar, so they can't shoot twice or shoot your vehicles if that's the kind of thing you were playing. I mean, they just shoot Chopper then, but hey. So Darkseid kind of just took a turn, did not pull Nal Hutta, so either it wasn't there or they didn't see it, or just forgot to go get it. They grab a docking bay, 2 docking bays actually. They had 1 in hand. Light side's just going to lose a force. They're going to speak for the Jedi Council chamber and then lose the speak because they don't need it. Darkseid can't force drain here because of the Prophet objective, so there's no force loss from that. Oh. Now, Hutta was not there, so either it's in his hand and he drew it, or it's somewhere in his force pile. They're going to load up the audience chamber pretty good here, though. And there's the sail barge. Okay, sail barge passenger deck. Some good extra force. Easy to find, guaranteed. It's expensive to get the sail barge out. This darn thing costs 5. Your aliens deploy super cheap aboard it. Between that, Scum, and Chow, I mean, you can remember throw anybody down for free for the most part on the sail barge. But against decks that are not Prophet, how often are you really fighting on Tatooine over, the audience chamber and stuff? So, with this only deploying to Tatooine, it might be kind of limited. We got a 3PO. 3PO's going to put a card back. Do we have a gift? Nope. Lightside's going to lose another force. Loses Anakin's from the used pile. Either he forgot he put it there, or he couldn't think of anything worse to lose. Curiously enough, he took Akbar with the rebel leadership. I don't know that I would have done that. Thinking back to it, I probably would have gotten Leia. I think she'd probably be more useful in this matchup. Plus, when you take Akbar with rebel leadership, you've just told your opponent you're playing home one, so then he's not in any rush to, you know, try and just get a spaceship presence satisfied. If they don't know exactly what you're playing for a possible space package, maybe you get away with somebody just throwing Zuckuss out there, thinking that he's safe. Because how are you going to get 7 ability? And then you rally off a couple of used pile pulls and take Akbar and take home one into hand, and then come down the following turn and unleash the fury. Abyss is an interesting card. So in this matchup, or in several matchups against mains decks, Abyss can do some damage. If a unique card is drawn for Destiny, any Destiny, not even Battle Destiny, and a duplicate is on table, it's not even characters, unique card. So if there's multiples of effects, starships, vehicles, characters, weapons, and a duplicate is on table, the Destiny card is lost, and the Destiny then equals 0. If it is a character, the character loses immunity to attrition for rest of turn, and you have to lose 2 force or lose that character. Ideally, this is in there for Jedi Luke's. Luke's on table, they draw that track 6 Jedi Luke, and it's, oh no, now it's a 0, and now you either have to lose 2 more force on top of it, or lose the Luke that's on the table and in play. But that Luke just lost his immunity to attrition, so for the most part, that's the kind of stuff you're going to get with it. This particular deck, it's Prophet's a mains type deck. There certainly are duplicates of characters in there, but with 3PO, there's certainly the ability to track Destiny and stuff around pretty easily. So it is a little bit easy to avoid. I've never personally been a fan of playing Abyss. I feel like you limit your deck construction knowing you're playing it, so you only run 1 copy of a lot of cards, so you don't have to worry about that being a problem. And then your opponent, once it hits the table, they just kind of find a way to play around it, especially with 3PO, using him to set up your Destiny draws. He's going to get Qui-Gon with the lightsaber. So I don't ever feel like it's really worth the sacrifice you give up as a deck constructor to play Abyss. If it happens to be a weird deck where you're not running any duplicates anyway, great, it's a throw-in extra card. If it's some type of drop and drain deck where it's just a whole bunch of non-unique guys, or just low-cost guys you're not really running duplicates of, then maybe it makes sense just to punish Darkseid further. There, he's gonna grab the home one. Oh, he didn't grab the home one. I figured he would have grabbed that right there. He's gonna get the 0 out of the deck though instead. That's fine. He's gonna load up. He's got these 4 dudes now, multiple weapons. Lando's not going to be able to go inside because of Effantmon, spies, gamblers, and thieves. Can't go in. So Lando's going to get left outside. What did I do? Alright. So he verifies his deck. Yeah, Chewie's okay. See, that's what I would have taken. The home one. He's going to load up with another guy. But he's got time. He's got plenty of time to go find his home one. I mean, it's early in the game still. You got 29, 25. Life force counts down. We're probably going to see he missed, but he just showed that home 1 is still in his deck. He's going to neighbor and can't take Lando. Oh, Qui-Gon. He persona replaced his Lando. He realized he couldn't take Lando, so he persona replaces Lando so he can then neighbor and everybody over together. That's one way out of that problem. Pay 4, move all those guys over. Neighbor does not get grabbed. So, what do we got here? We got light side with 3 weapons and 24 power. Dark side's got 5 guys right now, no weapons, but you've got Effantmon who soaks up all battle damage and attrition because he's with Jabba. He'll be power +2 once the battle actually starts. He's only power +2 during the battle. Jabba can then double somebody, so you could double him up to 8. So really, this is potentially 19 power we're looking at there. So it was only about a 5-point difference in power, but we got 3 weapons, so some of these guys are going to get shot. Possibly a 2-4 save. We should see Greedo come down as a react. Buelo's going to cancel a battle destiny. He can do that just for being at the audience chamber or for being with a leader. So you've got 2 leaders there with 3 leaders. Jabba, Effant, and Chow are all leaders. They're also completely immune to attrition from the light side site, as I mentioned earlier. No multiple destinies, though. That's the V version. Okay. This may be a time where we see old Chopper. Let's see Chopper come down and cancel Effantmon's game text. Is this... Yeah, it's a permanent weapon thing, so it would have to be during a battle. So he couldn't have, like, deployed him, shocked him, and then neighbor and everybody over. He's going to clash Effantmon out of the battle instead. That's fine. No shield pull, so Lightside doesn't have to lose 2 force. Then some people are going to get shot. Master Luke is going to bounce Buelo. That's also another thing to consider there. Master Luke's text too. So really he had 4 weapons. He could have bounced Effantmon, could have swung and hit him and then clashed him, take him out of the battle. But this is the kind of big beatdown that Prophet likes to do. Take their time, not really rush into the game early. Get their key characters, a couple of weapons, kind of neighboring people over if necessary, or just march in and then storm the audience chamber and demand they Jabba release Han, just like in the movies with Qui-Gon and Padme. Jasper is going to be a little harder to hit. He's got pretty high defense value. Actually, not at that site he doesn't. He's only defense value +1. And Court adds to his forfeit, so he's got pretty high forfeit. Take a second shot at Jasper. I can't shoot Jabba, because Jabba can't be targeted when he's with an alien leader. Chow being an alien leader. Jasper's hit, forfeit 0. We got 27. Adds a destiny to attrition, which is unnecessary because, well, everybody's dying anyway. I was going to say Jabba covers 7. and you're already ahead 16. I don't think attrition's going to make a difference, but hey, let's just see one more card, right? So we got light side with a 9 for best destiny, plus another 4 more for attrition, completely unnecessary. Dark side got 4, so Padme dies because Padme really wasn't doing a whole lot there. So it's going to be Jabba and 6. Because Efatmon is excluded from battle, he's inactive, which means light side then controls the location, which lets them cancel Scum and Villainy immediately. Now the battle ends, Efatmon becomes reactive, so now light side does not control the location and can't free Han. That may have been why it would have been worth it to hit him and then clash him out of the battle in the middle of it in order to gain control of the audience chamber. Pay the upkeep on Lando. Light side. Well, battle plan. Oh, battle plan is out. They started the battle plan combo card. He would have had to pay for that drain of 1. Now he just gets it. Ellison Hinthra's in there, along with Greedo and a restraining bolt. All wrapped up, huh? Oh, I think I think this game's all wrapped up all right. Hondo. Buelo number 2. And Jodocast. Those guys would have all been basically free. 1-0-1-1. Had Chow and Scum still been on the table. One can't move, so Darkseid will just load up the sail barge. And this is kind of a dead turn for them. They can't really do anything. No, they can get Leia out with Seeking and then someone who loves you to free Han. After they get a use pile search. But it's a much more expensive way to do it. They wouldn't get to retrieve unless they make a move, or they do that and deploy Obi first. Now they can play Someone Who Loves You and retrieve. Get 5 cards back. And then there's possibilities. You move OB back in and just call it a turn. You could move someone like Chewie out, because Chewie could shoot the sail barge. I think it's only like armor 4 or 5, right? It's 5. Chewie could shoot the sail barge. Yeah, move Chewie out. Really make your opponent start to think about what they want to do. He's going to bring Luke along with him. So now he's got Luke who can bounce and swing, and Chewie who can swing. Outside there, pay upkeep on Lando. It's pretty solid inside with, strong 20 power plus Lando retrieving and adding to power. He's going to no-escape his Scum back. Okay. So we'll get his Scum back, put that back out. He can job his Haven to get one of his aliens back, to get Jabba back, presumably. Now that Luke has moved away. So Eskimo could make a move here, or deploy Jabba from hit. Maybe he got him back, and I just was yapping earlier and missed it. We got Cad Bane now, so now we can capture some people with all wrapped up. All right, it's getting interesting. We got a Boba Fett. Where? Right there. That's where he is. He's in the audience chamber right next to Jabba and Cad Bane. Get another is no try for sense. Probably potentially we could potentially see a hidden weapons here. It does have to hear me maybe to cancel it though. But Boba's gonna IG-88V, huh? Okay, sure, why not? I mean, it doesn't have to be like a frozen captive or anything. If he's escorting a captive, he can go fish out use pile or force pile cards. So that's fine there. He's going to go ahead and initiate battle. Probably not pay to retrieve. No, he does choose to use the 2. So he ran off a good portion of the cards out of his hand, and now he's got no force pile left. Lando's going to retrieve with secret plans and add 5. Oh, he declined to do it because he's saving the force for first strike. Boba's going to do the hidden weapons, but the hidden weapons is going to get canceled because he needed the force from the first strike. Light side has to use the force when dark side initiates the battle. No Greedo. So Qui-Gon does get to swing. He's going to go after Boba. Should get him. We saw him draw some pretty decent Destiny last battle, and these should all be the same cards. Boba's going to get hit. Jabba's going to double one of the bounty hunters to add some more power. We'll get a Battle Destiny, just a 5. That'll probably be Leia, I would think. But Boba's forfeits 0. And Lightside's going to tack on a bit more. But it'll probably just be F on. Unless they draw really low. They got 6. I think Egg will cover 6 because he's 5 plus 2 from the objective. Could potentially choose to keep F-Mon around and just lose Egg. Lightside's going to lose Lando. Lando's going to get captured. That's going to flip the objective. And, yeah. Oh, hunting party. Hang on. I got to read a card. So, yeah. So, right. So, let's stop right back. We had a couple things happen there. Light side forfeited Lando. Dark side used all wrapped up. Opponent's character is about to be forfeited. Your bounty hunter present may capture that character. Character is first restored to normal. So if they were hit and forfeit 0, they're now back to normal with that. So then Ig captures Lando. That immediately flips the objective if you have a captive ability greater than 2 at any Jabba's palace site. When the captive gets captured, now this ability to fish out your ships and have your bounty hunters be forfeit plus 2, that's only on the front side while this side's up. So this side gets flipped. The 7 side here is all related to creature stuff. Most people who play court don't really rely on this kind of stuff. It's pretty hard to pull off. And the rewards aren't always the greatest for doing it. So you can get the Sarlacc or Rancor out. Captives targeted by Trapdoor, go to the Rancor pit. Trapdoor can't be canceled, so that's interesting. Easy way to get guys in and out of the Rancor pit. Then you don't have to worry about your Trapdoor being sensed or anything. Opponent loses force equal to forfeit value of each character eaten by a Rancor or Sarlacc, and then you place that card out of play. So that's the interesting part right there. they lose force equals to their forfeit values, like Lando's the 7. So if you were to feed Lando to a Rancor or a Sarlacc, Lightside would lose 7 force. Pretty cool when it happens. Unfortunately, it just doesn't happen consistently enough um, to make it worth it. But it does also give us access to another virtual interrupt that was recently came out in set 4. Uh, if your bounty hunter or Trandoshan just captured a character, opponent loses 1 force, immune to sense, Destiny 7. Other part is during your control phase, if your bounty hunter or Trandoshan is escorting a non-frozen captive at a battleground site you control, lose 1 force. So that's kind of similar to the like Rebel Artillery interrupts, the 7 Destiny interrupts that cause 1 force ping. Hunting Party will do that for escorted non-frozen captives at battleground sites you control. It's a little more narrow. But hey, you captured a guy and you put a 7 back. That's always a good thing. So you make your opponent lose a force, you put a 7 back. And now Effant Mon will have to go to cover the damage. Those guys move down from... Doesn't have any force left. Didn't want to leave those guys kind of just hanging out on the sail barge where it could get shot or killed. So he'll move them down to the lower deck. Below decks, if you will. I'll get a drain of 1 at least. And here comes Chopper. We got Leia battling. So when she initiates battle, whenever you initiate a battle with a resistance character, retrieve a force. That includes herself. So you get to retrieve 1 there. And we got our buddy Chopper. Target may not use its game text for remainder of turn. Ability less than 4, so it would be Jabba or Cad Bane here. Cad Bane is adding 1 to Ig's power because it's only your other bounty hunters. Not really a whole lot canceling going on here. This part might be more effective. The lose 1 force to cancel a draw-strong weapon destiny targeting Ig. That's probably what I would be more inclined to see him cancel. Cancel Ig's text and then have Qui-Gon swing at Ig, and then that way you can get Lando back. Yep, we'll cancel Ig's text. Cad Bane cancels Qui-Gon's immunity because that's relevant. But you can do it, so you might as well. Can't cancel those. It gets sliced and diced. No, sorry about the mess though. So Lando's not coming back into the battle, but he'll come back after the battle. No force save, so Jabba can't double somebody up. Depending on the draw here for Dark Side, if it's low, it could be best case scenario they get Leia, worst case scenario they get Chopper. Those are the only 2 guys who are going anywhere. It's a 3. Chopper forfeits for 3. That's unfortunate. So we'll see Chopper go. Ig is going to go. That will flip the objective back to the 0 side. So now his bounty hunters get extra forfeit. So Cad Bane would have covered everything anyway, but now he covers more. And Light side's going to draw some cards and reload their hand. Now they got something going in space there. Second land, that's unnecessary. Stop drawing. You don't need any more cards. You need to make sure you got plenty of force so you can drop home 1 Akbar Anakin for 17 in battle. We'll see Eskimo drain for 1. Now we got to see what else he's going to get set up here. Only got 3 cards in hand, not a lot to work with. We got a Dengar ship in there who may be worth getting. Slave 1 was drawn for Battle Destiny, so we know that's still in there. Or a Sing. Okay. He grabs the Dengar. Is he gonna give up the... Yep, the audience chamber. That'll get Scum canceled. With Chewie there, I don't know that you want all those guys piled on the sail barge. I don't know if this anything adds. Oh, he's just gonna move the sail barge away. That works too. Move the sail barge out to the Great Pit of Carcoon, just like in the movies. Pile everybody up on board. And cross your fingers that your opponent doesn't play neighboring leads. He's got him in hand, so I think we can throw that out the window. Kind of a mixed bag in there. Not necessarily the kind of stuff you'd want to see if you're thinking about battling in space. You don't need to battle in space, though. You can cause 2 force loss from the objective. You can pay to drain with the guys in the audience chamber. Instead, he's going to neighboring first. Luke and buddies out to the Great Pit. Now he grabs the neighboring. Uta Guta solo. Oh, doesn't have it. In a deck where you want to capture people, that might not be such a bad card. He'll pay, he'll get the drain at 2 inside the audience chamber. Darkside's starting to run out of cards there. They're down to 14 in life force, 4 in hand. Meanwhile, light side's got 26 and 7. Now we're going to get Anakin plus lightsaber. This is just kind of overkill, but sure, why not? We'll battle for free. We'll retrieve 1. Because Chewie's there. He's a resistance guy. So they're going to start this battle even in power. We're going to see Anakin swing at somebody. Oh, Abyss. Abyss just got triggered. And he's got to lose 2 force. And unfortunately, that just kind of justifies playing the card. I'm just not a fan of it. I mean, I guess you can build enough unique personas into a Scum deck that it doesn't hinder you too much, but at the same point in time, a lot of your key characters, your Greedos, your Boba Fett's, that kind of stuff, you probably are running more than... more than you'd want to run more than one copy of. He senses the hidden weapons with Ray. That's going to cost him 2 force loss as well. They're going to have to come from used or hand. He doesn't have enough destiny left to keep lose anything off the top of the reserve deck. He swung with Anakin first. That could have been a mistake if he didn't have the sense there. Should have shot with Chewie first to guarantee that Chewie got to shoot the barge. Unless he really knew what his destiny was and knew that wasn't going to hit the barge, so he wanted to swing at somebody cheaper. That would make more sense. So Chewie fires a shot, cracks the barge. It's going to take down a whole big pile of guys. Jabba doubles somebody's power. Kind of irrelevant. Luke is going to bounce somebody. Luke's going to bounce Boilo. That seems unnecessary. I actually would not. He tried to. He missed. Maybe he knew that 3 was there, and that's why he just did it, so he would draw something better for Battle Destiny. Boilo's going to cancel the Battle Destiny. You don't need to do any of that because you hit the barge. Everybody on it is going to die. The barge doesn't have text that lets them jump off the way some of the other stuff does. It's not like built into the rules of transport vehicles that they can jump off. Like speeder bikes and things like that say it right on it that they can jump off. And creature vehicles have that in the rule that they can jump off a creature vehicle. But the barge goes along with everybody with it, so bouncing Boilo in that situation, all it would have done is put a character back in Darkseid's hand. You'd rather have that character in the lost pile, so no need to do that. So now Lightside's got good board position. They've got 2 battleground sights. They've got 3 lightsabers. So they're doing 2 ping damage from the objective, and potentially paying to drain for 3 and 2. So they're doing 7 damage a turn. Darkseid's got 14 cards down and 3 in hand, so pretty much that would be 2 turns. Holy moly, it's a Sarlacc. Please hold. Sarlacc. Ferocity. 4 plus Destiny. If Sarlacc eats a captive, may retrieve 1 force for each of your aliens here. Anything eaten by Sarlacc is placed out of play. So if he still had the sail barge with like his 5 aliens on it and then dropped the Sarlacc, his guys on the vehicle would be protected from being eaten by the Sarlacc. If that's even still how creature rules work. Not gonna lie, not 100% sure. I'd probably have to go look them up because nobody plays creatures. And then retrieving, well, you're already retrieving with Scum, so aim high has already been pulled. So being able to retrieve a few more force would be good, but it gets expensive. At this point, really just hoping that maybe the Sarlacc can eat some people. Looks like we're looking at a revert here, possibly maybe to put Chow at a different location, or take Chow back into hand. Sarlacc's still coming down. I hope so, man. It's like the highlight of this game. Chow went to Jabba's palace with Jasper. Okay. Sarlacc will try to attack. Master Luke is chosen randomly. Luke can take a swing at him, but he has to draw 12 in order to hit him. So I don't see that happening. But it does give him the opportunity to cycle a couple of Destiny cards through to Jedi Lev. That card he didn't want to do earlier. Does have to be careful he doesn't end up accidentally drawing something for Abyss again and screwing himself. The thing with Abyss though too is it doesn't target personas; it only targets unique card titles. So when Master Luke is on table and he draws a Jedi Luke for Destiny, why did he get to swing twice? Oh, he's fired Anakin's lightsaber first. That doesn't seem right. They're not the ones battling the creature. Why would Anakin get to swing? That seems wrong. Oh, if Luke draws low, he could get eaten. That'd be a bummer. I don't think Luke's going to draw low, but a dark time for the rebellion. A dark time for the rebellion. It would only be a tie anyway. So Luke does not get eaten. And then Darkseid's going to go ahead and concede. Just want to try and get that last one little trick in. Certainly could have been a little beneficial, but now they're going to get hit for, like I said, 7. Um, and there's not really much else that Darkseid can do at this point. So thanks to everybody for submitting these game links. Of course, feel free to keep sending them to me, either through PM on the message forums or you can email me directly, at my Gmail account, chris.gogolin@gmail.com. PMing me is probably the best way to get it to me, though. I don't really check that Gmail account very much. It's the only thing I ever use it for is YouTube. So thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and look forward to doing some more videos for you guys next week. Have a great night.